I count down.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy.
You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is December 4th, 2019, episode 167, and this week, CRIBS, Jesus Edition, and Combat Cyborgs confirmed. My name's Basil.
And this is Gonz. Welcome to the podcast where we report disturbing news through the comforting views of woke Canarians fighting to expose
demonic power.
That's right. All right, what's up with you, Mr. Razzle Dazzle?
That's me. Gonz, I regret to inform you that we have to make a correction this week.
Oh no.
And I'm actually happy to do it. I like doing these corrections, but we are guilty of spreading some fake news last week.
Yeah, I heard that Kim Kardashian found out about it.
Okay, Gonz.
I like a liar.
The simulacrum that you're building around every jingle.
So we played this clip of Margaret Mead last week, or a couple times.
We should invite fewer people to be born.
And obviously that's a eugenics sentiment. But
Yes.
Basil chimed in. You said that this was the same person who started the Planned Parenthood, which is understandably a easy mistake to make because
understandable mistake.
Yeah.
But Margaret Mead did not start Planned Parenthood. That was Margaret Sanger.
Exactly. And Margaret Mead
Right?
was,
Yeah.
yes, Margaret Mead was part of the Macy's thing, the meeting with the cyberneticists in the early 1940s or 30s, whatever it was. So that's her, different
They
lady.
are of the same spirit.
Yeah.
Of the same Margaret spirit.
Yeah.
But not the same people. That was my bad for throwing it in there. Wanted to sound smart. But to be fair, Gonz, you confirmed my
I did.
my misinformation.
I did.
Yes.
Which, yeah. So we both
There we
failed.
go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, everybody. But there you go. Margaret Mead, not Margaret Sanger. And Gonz, we made a request and the people answered again. And I got to give you a little meme update, baby. That's right. Thank you, B-Dubs, again for the meme update jingle. B-Dubs is quickly becoming the most prolific jingle maker on this show. One of these days, he's going to even surpass the jingles that Gonz has made. And if you're out there and you know anything about recording your voice into even an iPhone, I talked a little bit with B-Dubs about his process, and it's something anybody can do. So if you want to, if we often put out the calls for different jingles, but if you want to just start making jingles for stuff that we tend to repeat, you can go ahead and do that and send it on over to canarycryradio@gmail.com. But B-Dubs, thank you for that. And Gonz, the Baby Yoda memes continue to take over the internet.
Yeah, I actually saw the first episode of The Mandalorian, so I'm with
it for
I'm with the people.
possibly the first time in our entire history together you watched a television show that I recommended that you watch.
Yeah, and
This is a big day.
I feel up to speed, although it was only one episode, and I stood up and cheered when Baby Yoda appeared at the end of that episode, just to spoil everybody.
So cute. So anyways, that's it. Gonz, let's get into the show here. Let's start out with a Flippy update.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
DiscoverMagazine.com. Scientists gave this robot arm a self-image and watched it learn. That's right, folks. First they take our jobs, then they take our children, and now they have self-image. What's next? Self-confidence?
Oh.
The article starts out. In The Matrix, Morpheus tells Neo that their digital appearance is based on their residual self-image. That is, the characters look how they imagine themselves to look based on their own mental models of themselves. In the real world, scientists have been trying to teach robots that trick as well. That's because, unlike the warring machines of The Matrix, a real-life robot with an accurate self-image might benefit humanity. It'd allow for faster programming and more accurate self-planning. Next, they're gonna have the robots doing family planning, right, Gons?
I gotta go. Robots telling me
on.
I have to eat lunch.
And help a device self-diagnose when something's gone wrong. It could even help a robot adapt to any damage it sustains. And on Wednesday, a pair of scientists from Columbia University said they'd given a robotic arm this self-awareness and, in the process, new potential to learn. Their research is published in the journal Science Robotics. Then the article just kind of goes into some more technical jargon, but basically the robots, they're discovering themselves. So how do they are able to hold a self-image?
Do they put eyeballs on the end of their finger, the arm fingers, or what? How does it? Is it just programming?
Well, Gons, I could read you the rest of the article, but
nobody cares that much about what.
Nobody cares that much. We're just here to learn about how the disembodied robot arms are going to take us over and enslave us.
It sounds like Baymax from Big Hero 6. Look at that. Two cultural references, movie references in the first.
I gotta say, I'm pretty sure you reference Big Hero 6 every single episode. Is that the only movie you've ever watched?
Well, no, I just think there's a lot in there, but I haven't mentioned it in several episodes, just for anybody keeping tabs. But yeah, you're right. I bring that up, more often than
no, I like it. I've never seen it, so
you've never seen it?
I'm just happy you're enthusiastic about the movie at all.
Well, I guess we just covered different territory, but yeah, that's one you should watch. You'll definitely have. You'll be screaming New World Order the whole time.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you one article or one more paragraph of the article here. The researchers bought a standard model of robotic arm, the intimidatingly named Widow X, and taught it to visualize itself. They ran it through 1,000 random trajectories and basically had it observe what happened. How certain movements felt, what was possible, what was inefficient, everything. The authors even compared it to a human first learning the capabilities of its own limbs, writing, quote, "This step is not unlike a babbling baby observing its hands." We've got babbling robot babies observing their own hands. What's next, Gons?
Why do they have to go? Do they not know that they sound like creepy, sci-fi villains when they say stuff like that? I don't know. This self-awareness is just very low.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're giving all the self-awareness to the robots. I'm not sure if they save any for themselves.
That's good. Okay, so we have we have a quicker update that we've been tracking or trying to track here.
Most modeling is kind of acting like a
beast,
but making it fashion.
Beast,
but then make it fashion.
Beast fashion, Basil, or Beast fashion update, which is
that's right.
We were kind of having fun with the idea.
Both fashionable young men.
Sure.
We keep an eye on the fashion world.
Sure, but
I'm currently wearing my sweat pant onesie.
I'm glad you're wearing
all the way to the top.
I'm glad there's any kind of pants on at all.
Yeah, it's my new podcasting uniform. Actually, I thought about this. I have not mentioned this on the show, but I have a new podcasting uniform. Spent $30 on a adult onesie, and pretty much every episode that I've recorded over the past month, maybe 2 months, has been in this onesie.
Basil, we have our exit strategy. We need to come up with the podcast suit onesie.
It's the podcast flight suit. It's like it wasn't SpaceX. It was Virgin Galactic's.
The blue
fashionable flight suit. Now I have my own podcasting flight suit.
That's something we can.
This is how
that's
we
our
retire.
exit strategy. Yeah, that's it. We do it. Okay. Again, we were kind of having fun with the idea of a beast fashion segment, but things have gotten so literal so quickly that Basil didn't even want to report on this story because the image of the individual is very creepy. Yes. Serpent eyes and alien cheekbones artist Daglara's trans species aesthetic. And this is dazeddigital.com. And the image is it's creepy by itself. But here's what it says. Athens-based Daglara explores how performance can create a martyr narrative with extreme emotions and how to reach a point of frenzy. Her makeup, her art's protagonist, is a trans speciesist dream. Inspired by facial features from the animal kingdom, her beauty looks brings to mind sci-fi creatures and the hypersexualized femme icon. Serpentine eyes, a dolphin forehead, and alien cheekbones. With Daglara's, it's all about hybridization, which I believe this is a biological male calling herself female. To see Daglara perform is to witness a shape-shifting ritual during which human and animal, body and spirit meld into one. At the height of ecstasy, Daglara convulses on the floors, her movements both unruly and controlled. When the pace slows down, imaginary snakes appear to writhe across her body, instructing her back up in fluid motions. Momentarily recomposed, she takes a respite from possession, and you, the viewer, can draw breath before she reimmerses you into her prehistoric monster fantasy.
Yeah, I feel like this person listens to the show and was like, you know what? I haven't heard them do a beast fashion segment recently. I'll just create the perfect performance for them to break down. Obviously, there's the allusions to chimeras and mixing species and snakes possessing this person and reviving them and controlling them, and something about a monster fantasy. Yeah, well, we couldn't ignore it for the show.
Well, also at the very end here, it says it's a Q&A with Daglara. And the question is, you incorporate elements of Bacchic rituals and mythology into your performance. How do these nurture your art and fuel the dynamism? Daglara says, quote, I'm generally interested in the supernatural and the divine, especially in the way it is professed in ancient Greek mythology and worship. There is a correlation between the Bacchic rituals of the cult of Dionysus and my need to achieve a somewhat out-of-body experience through drag performance. For me, the stage is a tool to, at least temporarily, transcend societal norms and limitations. You know, these people they're very intelligent. You know,
they are intelligent. Now I'm confused, though. I don't think this person claims to be a trans person. If they're in drag, to my understanding, drag
is different from
queens is different from trans. So, but they call her she. I think they call them she when they are performing.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
We're
I need to educate
now.
myself.
No wonder you didn't want to get into. Yeah, but okay,
all those drag queens who listen to our show are going to be very angry,
very upset. Yeah, well, we apologize ahead of time, but yeah, that's there's no surprise that she's incorporating the Bacchic rituals, the cult of Dionysus into the whole thing. I think we've covered on the show and definitely my channel this cult of Dionysus as something on the rise again. So interesting that it's.
A lot of popularity recently, Bacchus.
Yeah, and definitely creepy look. Just got to say, I mean, just being honest, the look is very disturbing.
I'm not going to look anymore.
Yep.
Okay, Gons, moving on. Here's the thing. We already told you Cyborg Soldiers coming by 2050.
I tried to tell you. It's chaos. It's a mess. I tried to tell you, but nobody wanted to listen. Do y'all hear me now?
Are you ready to become cyborg?
It will kill.
IBTimes.com. Cyborg soldiers arriving in 2050. The U.S. Army is ready for them. The nature of warfare is a continually evolving science. The last decade has seen the rise of smart weaponry, autonomous combat vehicles such as the U.S. Army's MUTT, and the ever-growing genre of laser weapons used by the armed forces. Now, the U.S. military is exploring the idea of adding real cyborgs to the roster. The U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Development Command announced in November that ear, eye, brain, and muscular enhancements is feasible and expected by the year 2050 or earlier. The government agency spent over a year researching the technology to address demands that will further improve the military's efficiency. All in the spirit of efficiency, Gons. According to the report, the plan is to link the human brain to computers, creating an instant data link. There are also several upgrades that are being explored, such as visual and auditory enhancements. The report implies this technology already exists and is being refined. A large portion of the report focuses on the need for foundational research to validate human-machine fusion and its impacts on health and longevity.
Validate.
A partnership with Microsoft has developed new headsets, blah, blah, blah. They talk about some cyborg stuff that we've pretty much already all covered. But there you go. This is now here's the thing. Everybody listening to this show, this crazy conspiracy show, already knows that the military is using and is continuing to develop cyborg soldiers. But this is mainstream outlet talking about cyborg soldiers. Guns. Back when we were talking about cyborg soldiers in like 2012, of course we weren't the first ones to talk about it, but it was very much sort of taboo kind of
or just crazy. It was crazy.
Just crazy. Just like, yeah, okay. Someday maybe, but not anytime soon.
Right.
And here we are just a few years later, and it's happening. And as we all know, when by the time the public is hearing about it and they're saying, oh yeah, by 2050, we're going to have cyborg soldiers, that means they already have it.
They already have it.
It's being used.
Yep.
So I don't know. We have a bunch of listeners in the military. We should see if any of them are cyborgs. Email us. Hey, are you a cyborg? Send us an email. We want to talk to you.
Well, the thing that's really crazy is that, the quote here about the U.S. Army Combat Capabilities Development Command announcing that they're, the stuff that they're going to take over is ear, eye, brain, and muscular enhancements. So your ears, so your hearing, your eyes, so your sight, and then your brain. It's like, what are you at that point? Like, if they're taking over all that stuff, then you're kind of just like a meat suit.
I was assuming that the brain thing, that being the machine brain interface,
I know,
thing,
but
so you can fly your drones,
right? Just using your mind,
shoot your lasers with your mind,
or control multiple limbs like they showed as possible.
I gotta say, one of the things that kept me from going into the military when I was younger, of which there were many things that kept me from doing that, my mother being a big one. But one of them, I wasn't so excited about all the physical,
labor,
strenuous activity. Yeah. But, I mean, if they turn me into a robot, and that becomes much easier, I think I could have tolerated it a little bit better. Instead, Gons, I'm just a 30-year-old man in a onesie podcasting on a Wednesday morning with a cat. Oh, two paths diverged in the wilderness, Gons, and I took the one less traveled.
I'm sure this is gonna really put an exclamation point on your whole sentiment here.
Space Pope Reptilian.
Did it work? Are you feeling better about life?
It did. I feel much better. Yeah.
Okay. This
be
is
all that you can be.
Be all that you can be. This is the CatholicRegister.org. Pope Francis returns part of relic of Jesus's crib to Holy Land after stealing it. Oh no, I just added that last part. Vatican City as Advent
stealing it belongs in a museum.
As Advent approaches, Pope Francis gave a small fragment of Jesus's crib back to Catholics in the Holy Land. In Bethlehem, West Bank, Franciscan Father Rami Asakri of St. Catherine Church welcomed the relic's return and called it, quote, a great blessing. Quote, this is More blessing for this place, he said. You can't imagine a great joy to have this blessing. On November 22nd, experts from the Vatican Museum extracted a small fragment from the relic of what has been venerated as Jesus' manger. The relic given to the Vatican in the 7th century has been kept in a chapel under the basilica's main altar. Pope Francis gave the relic fragment to the Franciscan Custody of the Holy Land, which oversees the main churches and shrines associated with the birth, ministry, death, and resurrection of Jesus. The relic arrived in Jerusalem November 24th and was present during a mass celebrated by the nuncio, Archbishop Leopoldo Garelli, in the Chapel of Our Lady Peace at the Notre Dame Center. After the mass, the time for people to venerate the relic, the Franciscan friars carried it in procession to the Church of Saint Savior, where they recited Vespers. The relic was transferred to Bethlehem November 30th to be in place for beginning of Advent December 1st. Quote, "May the return to Bethlehem of this piece of holy wood arouse in us the profound desire to be bearers of God. Now it is our hearts that are a manger, the holy crib of God made man," said Archbishop Leopoldo Garelli, Apostolic Nuncio to Israel and Cyprus and Apostolic Delegate to Jerusalem and Palestine, at the handing over ceremony to the Franciscan friars at Jerusalem's Notre Dame Center. And Basil, I bring this up because it brings up another topic in the realm of Bible prophecy and study and all that kind of stuff. And that is this idea that's not really clear in the scriptures, but it's out there. It's this notion that the Antichrist, man of sin, who some suggest is going to appear claiming to be the Jewish Messiah, like the modern Jewish Messiah that they're waiting for, that he would claim that he is Jesus, that this is the second coming. And of course, if that's true, then that would be a very powerful deception for Christians, right? They're waiting for Jesus to return. This dude shows up, he says he's Jesus, and he's doing all this crazy supernatural stuff. I mean, that would be pretty intense. He can verify that, yep, that's where I laid when I was a baby. That's my little Yoda crib. Baby Yoda crib.
You're kind of connecting this to kind of like they do with the Dalai Lama. When they choose a new Dalai Lama, they put like a collection of relics in front of him, and then he has to pick the ones that he had in his past life or something.
Something like that, yeah. But who knows if that's really what's going to happen. But when you're talking about relics, and I didn't even know that there was a Jesus crib relic. Did you know that? There was like a little fragment of Jesus crib.
I didn't know that either. I am not surprised. I visited a good number of sort of historical basilicas and cathedrals and things like that. And they always have, Catholics, a lot of people say a lot of things about you, but I'll tell you what, you guys love relics. You got a lot of relics, a lot of stuff to look at, and it's pretty cool. I mean, which one? I don't know. I was at this place, and they just had a full human body preserved in glass.
Was he wearing clothes? Like I'm picturing it like a pirate, Like, oh, that's good old Saint Joe.
No, yeah, he was wearing robes, actually pretty nice robes. They look new.
I'm sure he's stoked.
But, they keep a lot of this stuff, and they kind of use it to connect to church history, and a certain contingent of them believe that these relics have powers or something if you come in contact with them. But yeah, no, they love relics. Did not know that there was a crib, that there was a piece of wood, holy wood, as they say in this article. Oh my gosh, Guns, connecting the dots. Holy wood.
Hollywood.
Oh, it's the crib.
It's all a show. And the show Cribs.
Boom, exposed. We finally got to the bottom of the Hollywood deception.
Do you want to hear the Millionaire's Teen Cribs theme song? It's 15 seconds. It's going to hurt your ears. I warn you all. I warn you all. Know. Okay, this is it right here.
Welcome to my crib. Wanna come in? Take a peek, look around. It's my crib, come check it out. Now you got the key. Come on in and hang with me.
That's
so bad. It's so bad. That was from an actual TV show.
It's an actual TV show on MTV, and it's no wonder that our young girls are messed up.
Cribs Bethlehem edition.
Jesus crib. Okay. Where are we? What are we doing?
I don't know. We're kind of running out of time. So I might just do an honorable mention of this last article, and then we'll head over
Okay.
to the extended report, or do you want to save the whole thing?
You can do it. It's not that long, right?
Yeah, I don't
As
think
we
so.
waste
Okay,
time.
here's just a little update. This is from
Aliens.
HuffPost.com. Michael Jackson musical blames sex abuse on aliens that drink virgin boy blood. There's just so many layers to this. Okay. An upcoming musical about Michael Jackson has a bizarre way of handling the sexual assault allegations against the late pop star. Los Angeles show, quote, "For the love of the glove, an unauthorized musical fable about the life of Michael Jackson is being produced by Johnny Depp's company Infinitum Nihil." It was written by playwright Julian Nitzberg, who is best known for 2006 musical about terrorists planning to blow up the Brooklyn Bridge. The new production focuses on a group of aliens shaped like bedazzled gloves who crash into Jackson's hometown of Gary, Indiana, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Nitzberg told THR that each glove alien, quote, "can give people magical musical talent if it drinks their blood and as a part of their body inside of it," end quote. But there's a caveat. It can only feed on virgin boy blood. This is the most insane thing I've ever heard, Gonzo.
It's all coming out, Basil. The truth is coming out in
so
theaters.
they try to, like, I don't know about justify, but they try to give a backstory to Michael Jackson's pedophilia by saying bedazzled gloves aliens made him do it in order
drank his blood.
Drank his blood, and then he had to lure in other young virgin boys to feed to the aliens.
Yep. It's not him. It's not us. So that's what Johnny Depp is trying to do too. He's trying to put himself and all his other pedo pals off the hook, right? Is the aliens, which maybe they're right. Maybe it's true.
To be fair, there was a quote from the guy who created it, and he is very explicit about how it's screwed up. Michael Jackson's life was screwed up, and so he was screwed up during his life. And he just wanted to use the alien gloves as a fun way to process the problems with his favorite pop star. And yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say about this. It speaks for itself. Sick.
Awesome.
All right.
On that note,
there you go. Woo! All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in this week. Here's the thing. We do an additional episode of Canary Cry News Talk every single week. That's right. You can head over to patreon.com/CCNT to grab your extended report and support the show. We don't believe in selling your attention to advertisers for our own personal gain. So instead, we ask that those who enjoy our show, who listen to our show, who get anything out of our show, to head over to patreon.com/CCNT, and you can sign up to support the show there. Keeps us going, and you get another episode every single week. It's the way to go, people. So head over to patreon.com/CCNT and get it, because this week we're going to be talking about a lot of VR stuff. There's VR heaven, VR hell. Can VR make you smarter and turn you into, a super genius cyborg soldier? Also, aliens are being discovered next year, just so you know, and Yale wants to control your mind. So we're going to be talking about all those things over on the extended report at patreon.com/CCNT. And here's the thing, folks, if you got friends and loved ones during this holiday season, Christmas is coming up. If they are not listening to Canary Cry News Talk yet, still getting their news from Facebook and the mainstream, you need to grab them by the cage and shake it.
That was going Slim Jim.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
Son of a bee sting.
That's right. Okay, everybody, one more time. Remember, head over to patreon.com/CCNT. That's the only way we're able to keep this show going. We have some new Patreon supporters, and they're going to get their shout-outs over on the extended report there. But make sure to tune in next week. But until then, think outside the cage.